Hello. Today we are going to review the notice and note strategy, contrasts and contradictions. Just to review, contrasts and contradictions occur when you are reading and a character says or does something that contradicts or is the opposite of what the character has been saying and doing all along. When you see these, you should ask yourself, why is the character doing this? The answer could probably help you make a prediction or inference about the plot, the conflict, the character, or the theme. So, now let's take out our contrast and contradiction packet. We're going to look first at passage 1. Passage 1 comes from the story, The Watsons Go to Birmingham. Leave it to Daddy Cool to kill a bird, then give it a funeral. Leave it to Daddy Cool to torture human kids at school all day long and never have his conscience bother him, but to feel sorry for a stupid little grayish-brown bird? So when we read this, there are some things that probably stick out to us. Daddy Cool tortures kids all day at school. He's probably a bully. But then he kills a bird and gives it a funeral. That seems to be opposites. What do you think the author is trying to show you about the character Daddy Cool through this contrast and contradiction? Take a moment and jot down your ideas. What did you notice? Well, one thing that I noticed is that, like many people, Daddy Cool probably has two sides to his personality. If he kills a bird and then gives it a funeral, there's probably some good in his heart. Makes me want to go back and read the book again. Now let's look at passage 2. Passage 2 comes from one of our favorite books, The Giver. The giver smiled, though his smile was oddly harsh. Now, I want you to use some of your prior knowledge. What do you already know about this story, The Giver? The character, the giver, and Jonas. Why do you think this is a contrast and contradiction? I'll read the sentence one more time. The giver smiled, though his smile was oddly harsh. Why does the character act this way? Take a moment and jot down your ideas. Well, let's see what our writers said. They think that the giver acts this way because he might be sad on the inside, but he's trying to cover it up by smiling on the outside. He's trying to make Jonas feel good about this assignment, but he knows something that Jonas does not know. This may be a bit of foreshadowing. So in review, contrast and contradictions occur when our author shows us or does something through our character that contradicts what they've been doing all along. When their actions or words contradict or are the opposite of other choices that they've been making. This makes us stop, take notice, and ask, why is the character doing that? Now, what I would like you to do is take some time and review chapter 1 of the book 11. Do you notice any contrasts and contradictions? Are there any times in the book when the main character, Alex, does something that is opposite or says something that is opposite of other choices he's already made? Have a great time reading.